Hi everybody. Today let's learn about various things like um, what is TDS, how do you measure the quality of your water which is coming from your tap, how does this RO system work, is RO really good for you, or how do you choose what filter you need for your kitchen or your filtration system at home, right? And also how this RO purifier, how it works. So I've opened it for all of us to learn, and as you see, this is my RO purifier. It's about 13 years old. It's from AquaGuard. I'll talk about the various stages of filtration that it has. Let's start with why do I really need a filtration system? Now, to answer that, we measure the water quality. The water quality can be measured using, by measuring the TDS of the water, and then for the TDS we have a TDS meter. So TDS, that is total dissolved solids, for input is 125. Okay, and let's see that what is it that WHO recommends. Now this is a website from, I think it's from WHO, who.int, probably WHO, I guess, and it says that till 300 you're okay, right? So uh, now what we saw was the TDS was in 120, so actually we don't need much of the purification here. This is the municipality water. I'm in Bangalore, so we call it Kaveri water. We don't really need too much of filtration. So actually, what I'm doing is I'm boiling this water straight, and as an experiment, I'm consuming this water just after boiling, and I feel I'm fine. I'm doing this for last 2-3 weeks. But I don't suggest that everybody has to look out for what is good for one's own. But I would say that this is good quality water that you're already getting, so you don't need so much of filtration that it reduces the TDS to dangerous levels. But I have an RO here because traditionally, I guess the sales guys sold me with this idea that you need to have an RO. They kind of scared me. So from almost from ever since these 13 years, I've been using this machine, and I guess I've been getting the same kind of water. So I've been drinking this purified water from RO. So now let's see what is the TDS I get after water purification. And if I can catch this in the camera, it is 16. So it's under 20. So I would say this is pretty bad, right? From all standards, you should not have a TDS of 16. So I would want my TDS to be, if I'm getting 120, 120 is good. Less than 300 is fine, right? So now I have this problem. I'm in this RO machine, and what do I do? So there are a couple of ideas that I have, and we'll discuss that, and we'll also discuss what is water purification in various levels that this machine does, or generally what do I mean. This is followed by almost all machines nowadays. So let's start with the various stages of filtration. There is pre, there is actual, and then there is post, right? So what all is there in pre-filtration? This is the pre-filter, which is basically what I think most of them call it the spun filter. It's like a sponge inside. It takes care of your basic mud. Then the water, now this is the water goes in and out, and then this is the out stream. And when the outstream comes, this is where it lands up. So this is the pre-carbon filter, pre-carbon membrane, pre-carbon, and then this is the carbon filter. So this, I guess, this takes care of the dirt in a way. You have, rust in the pipes, or you have other, uh, you know, basic dirt in the water. Then, so water comes in from I mean, I don't know what pre-carbon does actually, but there is this input pre-carbon, then there is carbon. The input goes in the carbon. Then from here, if you look below, and this is a rusty and a little bit ugly old machine, this here is the pump. Sometimes the pump gets bad. So the input from the output of the carbon filtration goes in the pump. So pump pumps it. So now you get some speed in the water, and this is the output of from the pump. This goes back. This is output from the pump, goes back, lands up here. If I can show properly, yeah, this is that one. This is the output from the pump. So this has pressurized water. So this goes into the sediment filter. This is the sediment filter. So you have that pre-filter, spun filter, you have carbon, now you got the sediment filter. Sediment filter is again, basic impurities. We are still in the pre-filtration stage, basically taking care of your dirt. And then from the sediment filter, it goes right into this membrane, which is your RO, reverse osmosis membrane, right? And how does RO work? Let's study about actual filtration, and then I'll tell you about various filtrations, and then what is RO and how does that work. The actual filtration happens in there are three different types of filtration techniques that this filtration companies generally use. One is UF, ultrafiltration, and then other one is NF, nanofiltration, and then the last one is RO, which is the reverse osmosis filtration, right? So how do these three types of filtration techniques they differ? So basically, it's all about the pores, or how much do you let the water go through. So just like we have this sieve, what do you call it in English? Right? In Hindi we call it chalni, which sieves the water, sieves your chai basically. So in this case, these pores that if you can see, so the same technique is used here, that the UF filtration technology will have small pores which will let the water go through. NF will have even smaller, and RO will have so small that only the purest form of water will pass through, and rest of it will have to come out. Not everything passes through. So it's like a pressurized jet that you're sending inside that small chalni or a sieve, and some goes in and the rest has to come out. So this is the outstream. This is what they call as the wastewater from RO. This is how it comes out. And then this is the wastewater which you can use to do your cleaning and all. So I have that other video where you could store this in a tank, and if you see, I have it right here, the tank which stores this water, and it comes out like this. I had put a video earlier on this. And what is this small thing? This is a post RO carbon filter. It's basically for taste. It enhances the taste of your RO filtered water, right? So in the end, it goes through this, and you get a better taste. I mean, water is tasteless, but still, you like bottled water. You don't like tap water so much. That's because you filtered it too much, and then you added some taste here. That's the reason, I guess. Now, after this stage, we are done. Like, we have the water that we drink. So this goes inside this tank, and somewhere here, I think this valve helps us. This tells you when to stop and when the tank is full. So that's how it works, right? So what is RO doing here is too much of filtration. It's giving us TDS of under 20, 16, and I've seen under 10 too. So that's not good. So if I replace this membrane with UF, uh, then everything is taken care in terms of I don't get a reduced TDS of so much. So UF is not going to reduce your TDS so much, right? And it's good enough for basic needs, or in other words, you use UF for I guess it's the range is till I think 300 or 400. You can use UF. Then above that you use NF till 900 ppm TDS levels, and above 900 is where you need an RO. So RO technology was built for the shipping industry, or the if you're in a ship or in a boat in the sea, and you have no other water. So you take the sea water and you filter, and then you can drink. So when you have TDS level of 900, it'll bring it down to less than 300. But you already at less than 300, and you have RO, then it's dangerous game. You're getting rid of all the minerals that you would need. And maybe that's the reason why a lot of our urban population has vitamin deficiencies like B12 and vitamin D. I'm no expert, but I mean, I've been hearing and reading articles that this is the cause. Anyway, I definitely want to get rid of the RO membrane or the RO filter and replace this with UV in my case. Now, sometimes my apartment has to bring in the tankers because this is municipality water, and sometimes you get tankers. So that's where I have measured, and I found that the TDS level goes to 500 or 600 max, because now we're getting water from a different source. So in that case, what we could do is switch to nano. So what I plan to do is that drinking water, I'll get to know about the taste, and otherwise I'll keep actively measuring, and then the announcements that your apartment folks will do, that hey, we're getting tanker water nowadays. So those are clues to tell me that now I need to switch to NF. So what I plan to do is I want to change this membrane to NF membrane, right? And that's what I want to do. But yeah, I didn't talk about one important part, that what about post filtration? Now, after your actual filtration, which is till here, this is the slot for your actual for your post filtration needs. So that's where we put UV, that is ultraviolet filtration or purification. What that does is that it has a chamber, and the recommended is a steel chamber through which there is a tube light of a UV ultraviolet tube, right? And the water is passing through, and that ultraviolet rays are also on that passing water. So what that'll do is it'll kill all the pathogens, which are basically bacteria and viruses and other microorganisms which will give you disease, which may give you diseases. Kill in the sense they'll not. I think they do some alteration to the DNA where they are ineffective to cause damage in your body, right? Basically that. So, but you notice that this is going to be a vertical UV system, but the recommended thing is it has to be horizontal like this, right? So when it's like this, that's where UV acts better. But now I don't have a way to make it horizontal. As you see, the slot is not there. So yeah, I'm going to replace this. I'm going to replace this. I'll keep a UF or a nano here. Here I'm going to put UV, and but because I can't do it like this way, I'll do it this way. But I've talked to one of the technicians, and he says that's fine. Why? Because you're already taking care of the filtration in so many ways, and the flow of water here will be, the pressure will be less. So the UV tube has enough, time to act on the pathogens on the water while the water is traveling from the tube, here. So with that in mind, so that's my plan. What I want to do is that, these filters can stay, the pre ones, and the actual one gets replaced to UV, or actual one gets replaced to UF, ultrafiltration, or nanofiltration based on TDS levels. Definitely RO has to be removed from here. Then here is what we get, the UV membrane or the chamber. So it's basically a stainless steel tube inside which is the UV tube, and of course there is a ballast that I have to put for the electric current. So the ballast and the UV chamber is required, and after that I'll get purified water, which hopefully will have not an altered level of TDS to an extent where I am getting less than 10 or less than 20. Now you could go to your you could go to your company where you bought this filter from and say you want to replace it this way. They'll have other models which has UV and UF, but I did some research. I looked into Kent. I looked at A.O. Smith, and I found out that they have the UV chamber made of aluminium. Now that is not good. A few years back, I replaced all my utensils which were of aluminium with steel, and that makes perfect sense for health. So I definitely don't want aluminium. And what I read is this UV inside the aluminium chamber, leaves out certain stuff in water which as a reaction, which is not good. So I did find one company which is ready to supply all these different membranes that I need with a stainless steel UV chamber, and so that's good enough. So what I plan to do is I want to try do it on my own, because If you see, these are all your what we call as QCs, quick connectors. They are available. These wires are available, right? So you could just plug and play, all these membranes. So I do want to try it I do want to try this myself. I want to plug this in myself, and if I fail, then of course these technicians are always available on a call. They'll come and they'll service this. um, that's why I feel that I don't need AMC from the company. I can go out and get other vendors to supply me with these membranes, right? So all these parts are available. The pump goes bad, it's available from other companies. uh, all these membranes are available. Other membranes are available which are plastic bodies, and you put replaceable membranes inside. So, and I'll give you links of one of the vendors which I found. This is the spun filter. This is the the pre-filter, the spun filter, which I'm going to bring in a new one now. I'm going to remove this one. I don't know why this is needed. I'll put a carbon filter. This is a slot for carbon filter. This will be the slot for sediment filter. This will be the slot for UF ultrafiltration for TDS, which I am getting now, which is like under 300. When it crosses 500 or 600, that's where I want to put this as NF, and I want to do it manually myself. And this is the slot which will be used for UV chamber, right? And the rest, everything remains the same. So hopefully I'll be able to do that, and hopefully you have learned a little bit about how to choose what kind of water filter for you.